We're now recording. Pat, welcome to the show.
Jay, man, this is great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I'm going to admit we had a little snafu yesterday. I'm going to take full responsibility of this. We're a day late, but that's okay. We're here. I sound a little bit better than I did yesterday, so maybe that's what
There you go. See, it was a reason, and I was fine because I was rushed yesterday, so I have time now. So this is good.
Awesome. Yeah. So I believe, Pat, you are the first agent I've actually had on the show. But without a doubt, you are absolutely the first $1 billion agent that I've had on the show. So congratulations on that. That's a
thank you
check mark for somebody. I don't know that I've ever met a $1 billion agent at all, ever. I don't know. I mean, they don't walk around. I mean, like you've got a name tag on, right? That says $1 billion.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that is extremely impressive about you is how much you've done that. But you've also started investing in real estate as well, right?
Yeah. I started early on, and I think that's where most real estate agents or, people in general are mistaken, especially real estate agents, right? Because they're dealing with this all day. They should be doing it themselves.
Yeah. And you've sold a lot of real estate. But I'm interested to know what your investing portfolio looks like today. You still invest today, right?
Yeah. All right. So today I got about 10 single family homes in Maryland, which is where I'm from. And then I have the house I live in, which is in South Carolina near Charleston. And then I have 7 multifamily whatever you want to call them, neighborhoods or whatever, right, that I'm a partner in. 1 shopping center. That's really it as far as real estate. And then I have very little. I have like 2% of my net worth is in like the stock market, just like retirement accounts,
Gotcha.
And then I do have probably about 30% of my net worth is in companies now that are where I was an angel investor.
Gotcha. So I noticed you mentioned near Charleston, right? And I know you and I connected on Facebook, so I know you're in Folly Beach, which
yes,
if you would have said Folly Beach, everybody would be like, where's Folly Beach?
Yeah, exactly.
So I know where it is. I've actually been to Folly Beach.
Yeah.
Many moons ago. We were, the girl I'm married to now, right? She was my girlfriend at the time. She's from Clemson, so the upstate, right? And we went down to Charleston to meet some of her friends and spend the weekend. And we stayed in downtown Charleston, and there's a real swanky hotel. And I can't remember the name of it because it was probably a decade ago.
There's a couple of them. There's even more now.
I bet. This one's been around for a while. I think it's like 100 years old. And we walked in. I was like, man, I do not.
Yeah, maybe Francis Marion. Yeah.
So one night we said, hey, we're going to Folly Beach, right?
Nice.
We went up some bar down there. And it just so happens this is when all the flipping shows on HGTV happened and whatnot. And the original host for the original Flip This House that was based in Charleston, was in that bar. Got to talking to him, and he got to say, what in the heck are you doing in Folly Beach if you're staying at the name of the hotel? And he was just giving me a hard time. And that's one thing
I always tell people. I'm like, yeah, you got to come down. Like, if you're in Charleston, you got to come down to Folly Beach. This is where the live music is, and like this is where it's much more bohemian.
Yeah.
Right. Than downtown Charleston. Charleston, you pay $25 for a damn martini. Yeah. You come to Folly Beach and get a Bud Heavy for $1.50. So Come on down.
I like it. So out of all those investments that you've got, it's interesting to hear you're still in single family, right? And you've got 7 multifamily, we'll call them apartment complexes, right? With some additional partners in the shopping center. What is your favorite, if you look at asset class or asset types, what's your favorite asset type to be invested in and why?
Well, the most exciting, right? The most exciting is the private companies, right? Because because you just never know. But that's like playing craps, right? When you bet on hard 8 or hard 6, of course that's most exciting because when you hit big. But there's clearly a reason why I have a bunch of single family homes, and I used to have a bunch more. And multifamily projects. And now let me clarify something. I'm also selling right now. So I had 12 single family homes I rented out in Maryland. I sold one. It just settled, and I'm putting another one on the market this week. And I'm just culling the herd of some stragglers that I didn't like that weren't renting real well. Yeah. And then we've had several multifamily projects that have sold, at least 3 in the past 18 months. And that is because the market had 2 times, 2.5 and 5 years, and we're like, we can't ignore that. So so we just sell. So I'm probably selling. I'd like to say I'm selling more than I'm buying, but the problem is I have an addiction. I'm addicted to investing. So somebody brings me a deal, and I'm like, all right. Plus, I had a couple of these angel invested companies that actually sold, and I've got a tax liability on account of it. So I'm investing in opportunity zones. So it's making me focus on opportunity zones, which just happen to be multifamily projects. Right. So I'm getting out of multifamily projects, but then I'm going right back in. I would say I'm almost getting out of more tertiary markets like the rural markets, and I'm going in just coincidentally to Austin, Texas, and Philadelphia. That just happens to be where the opportunity zones are, right there in the cities.
Yeah, which is crazy. But that's good. That's good. So you say you're selling more now, and it's strictly because of what the market's providing now.
Yeah.
Do you see how, everybody's got their crystal ball, everybody's got their own predictions. I always like to ask these, especially guys like you who have been around for quite some time, that say that have the experience that you do. Where are we headed with the whole market? And
it's great. I do think I do think unequivocally there's going to be a slowdown and a recession, right? It's normal, right? It's like anything. So I am starting to funnel some assets to more conservative investments like gold and there's a lot of people I know in the game that are sitting on heavy amounts of cash, which I've always had a problem doing because it's just hard for me mentally. But I know that
addiction part, right?
What's that?
Back to that addiction part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
but so yeah. So I'm going to my portfolio is going to shift toward more of a conservative, less real estate in the future for sure.
Yeah, I gotcha. So when you say a recession, do you mean a correction in the housing market, or do you mean an overall recession in what?
Houses are going to sit on the market longer. It's going to start with the luxury, and then it's going to move to the condos,
right?
And then it'll hit regular markets, I think, and then multifamily. I'm a little concerned that multifamily is in a bubble. It's a very, very respected asset class.
Right.
10 years ago, very few people invested in multifamilies. Now, my grandmother's invested in multifamily. You know what I mean? So
I do. I had this conversation last week with somebody, and I said, I don't know if it's because I've been on this, and I want to talk to you about this because this is kind of the basis of the Tribe of Millionaires book. But I've been on this kind of journey to improve the circle of people that I am around the most. And I don't know if it's because I'm choosing to be around those people who are focused on multifamily more, or if it's just multifamily is the thing. But everywhere, I can't turn a corner without somebody sticking a multifamily deal in my face. Has it always been like that, or is it no?
No.
Okay. So there's definitely
No, I mean, 10 years ago, no, you wouldn't even. Very rare. You know, it was hard. It was hard to get a multifamily deal.
yeah.
10 years ago.
So what is well, I guess you kind of said it is that you're getting away from
Trying
rural.
to get away from,
Yeah.
but the opportunity zones are pulling me back. But if it
Yeah.
weren't for the opportunity zones, if it weren't for my angel investments, where I would probably be going a lot more cash,
Yeah.
or I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I follow you. That's interesting. That's interesting to hear you say that because I've got a little bit of money in a self-directed RA. It's been sitting there way too long, in my opinion. It's been sitting there for like 6 months. And so I've challenged myself this week to look at 3 deals and really
There you
analyze them.
go. And sometimes it's not even about investing. It's just about looking at the deals as if.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm like you. I'll probably pull the trigger on something because I can't stand it. I can't stand not to. One of the things that I've found is the more broke I am, the more hungry I am to go out and find an opportunity. So
Yeah.
I said in my mastermind last week when I said, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I need to be broke. I need to be more broke because the hunger is not there to do anything, but I want to do it with, to make sure that we're hitting on all those investing criteria.
Yeah.
So you've written a couple of books for those people who've been hiding up under a rock and don't know about six steps of 7 figures. That was released, I think it's 2015.
Right.
It was on the W2.
2011, actually.
Oh, okay. It was on the W2 Cap list, the 8 must reads in 2018 list.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And now you've got the Tribe of Millionaires, which is what this book really
2020 is. Must read, guys.
Yeah, it is. It will definitely be a piece for the mastermind members to grab. But tell us a little bit about this book. And I'm going to say a couple of things, but I'm going to let you kind of dive into this. But this is a book you co-authored with David Osborne.
Correct.
Who I know by Wealth Can't Wait.
Okay, sure.
And Mike McCarthy and Tim Rode.
Yes.
But tell us a little bit about the reason behind the book and kind of what you guys went into to go after publishing.
So yeah, great question. I mean, essentially, we run a company called GoBundance, which is a men's business mastermind for millionaires plus. And what we do is we get together several times a year and we talk about how to make more money, what's working, what's not, how to, have better relationships, how to be healthier, things like that. We knew we wanted to write a book. We have 225 members now. We just opened up a women's GoBundance for women, which has 41 members. And we knew we wanted a book to kind of explain this to people. And we didn't know how to do it. So we hired an author named Dan Clements. He writes for Darren Hardy of Success Magazine. He writes for Hal Elrod. He wrote David Osborne's books. And so he came with 27 GoBundance members to Japan. He flew to Japan with us, and he hung out for a week with us in Japan, and he interviewed all 27 members. And then from that, he created some characters and wrote a story. And basically the story is about a guy named Ethan Martinez. And Ethan has a falling out with his father. 20 years go by, they don't speak. His dad dies. He goes to the funeral, and lo and behold, he thinks his dad's a deadbeat. But lo and behold, 6 guys are carrying the casket. All right? 6 pallbearers. They're all billionaires, multimillionaires, all very fit, all have great relationships. And he's like, holy dirt, what's going on? I thought my dad was a jerk. How did this happen? And as soon as he's going that through his mind, one of them comes over and is like, Ethan, we want to settle the estate with you. Your dad put me as executor, but before we can settle it, you need to come hang out with us on an island and get to know us. So Ethan goes to the island on a private jet with these billionaires, And what ensues are 6 lessons that he learns while he's hanging out with the rich guys. And it's all about the effects that happen when you surround yourself with successful people, or for that matter, unsuccessful people.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. So my high school baseball coach had this saying, and it's very much along those lines. You run with dogs, you're going to catch fleas.
Indeed. Right?
Yeah. I got to ask you, the part in the book where they go and they jump into this cave, is that a real place?
You know, here's the thing. We did a cave like that in Vietnam. It was called, I forget what it was called. We did 2 things in Vietnam. We slept in a cave, and then we rappelled into a cave. So it's not a real, well, so yeah, it's based on something we really did.
Gotcha. And I think you have one of the best reviews in the book. You had a best-selling author review you, and I just wanted to say this because it made me chuckle, but I was like, yep, this is it. Because I read this after I finished the book. This is from Christopher Lockheed. He says, the book is a special chance to learn how to design a legendary life from a special tribe of healthy, wealthy, and generous badasses. That was pretty cool. And one of the things too about the book, you know, the very first page, I think it's even before the first chapter, there's a call to think, right? Or call to action, is how strong is your tribe? Which is something I've been focused on. But, you know, a guy like you, right, who we all non-millionaires inspire to be, how does a guy like you who has all this success, sold $1 billion in real estate, started GoBundance, and now surround yourselves with all these millionaires? And it's not just the money piece, right? They're healthy, wealthy, everything's part of it. How do you improve your circle to make sure you're continuing to grow and to challenge yourself and that sort of thing?
Yeah, it's a conscious level, Jay. I mean, it's a really conscious level. Like when I go to a wedding, right? I'm scanning the room. I'm like, okay, who's the richest guy in the room? Who's the most successful guy in this room? You know what I mean? And the bride's father owns 5 golf courses or whatever. I'm like, all right, I need to go talk to that dude, right? I mean, and you just have to have that consciousness, right? Where you're like, that's a person I need to get to know. Let me befriend them. You know what I mean? And I think if you have that hunger and you have that mindset, the universe will take care of that, right?
Yeah.
The universe will take care of you. Providing you're engaging, you're not a jerk, right? They like you. And of course, you eventually, hopefully, trade information or at least become friends on Facebook or social media.
Like you and I did, right?
Exactly. Like there was some sort of an aggression on your part in a positive way, right? Like, You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And, you know, and that's the thing, because so I'm all for it today, but I'm actually attending this podcast summit to learn about podcasting, and which is kind of funny, because but I was like, you know what, I got to drop off. I got to do this thing with Pat. And one of the previous presenters was like, hey, if you want to do this, you know, here's my website to learn more. And before she had finished that, I was already on her site scheduling a time, and she even said, okay, Jay's an action taker. And I was like, I've never really been one, but with this stuff, I really am. Right? It just
it sounds like it's almost natural for you. You know,
I would say that, but if you talk to my parents, they would say no, he's pretty much a procrastinator.
We're all different about different things, right? I mean, it's all kids are like that too, right? They're like, you know, when it comes to your parents, I mean, my kids are like that too, right? We ask them to do shit around the house and takes them 8 weeks, but their boss tells them something, they jump to it, man. They're like employee of the month every month. You know, I'm like, how's that possible? I fired you 7 times, you know?
Yeah. Hey, and when I was doing my research, there's something else I found out that we have in common, right? And you were a 4-string, what was in my notes on this? You were a 4-stringer
lacrosse player.
A lacrosse player. So I was a walk-on college football, and you graduated college with a 2.6. right?
Yeah, something like that, man.
I barely beat you out with a 2.7. So,
What? Yeah.
but it's just a testament, right? Because a lot of people that I come in contact with, they don't go to college, or they think college is the next step, and I'm like, no, it's not. We've got 3 young kids, and I don't know. Do you encourage your kids to
I
go to
mean,
college?
it is. I mean, here's the thing, right? I have a couple opinions on this, right? It If you're like Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates, right, who are both college dropouts, and you have that mindset, that entrepreneurial spirit, and you're well above everybody else, you're more mature than everybody else your age, then college might not be right for you, right? You could get to it
Right.
faster. But I think for the majority of the population, I wouldn't necessarily discourage them from college. Like, I have a friend who has 2 daughters that are highly intelligent. And usually highly intelligent means left brain, right? Like science, math, shit like that, right?
You and I are strictly right brained.
Yeah, exactly. And science and math, those people do not make the best salespeople. They do not make the best, entrepreneurs, so to speak, right? So, encouraging them not to go to college, I could be a mistake. And he encouraged them not to go to college. So now they're like working at Starbucks trying to figure stuff out. You know what I mean? Like what if you're 18, you don't go to college, you set up an online business of some sort and you fail, right? I mean, and kids are so sensitive these days. So what college does, I believe, is number one, it matures you, right? And it matures your mind so that when you get out of college, you feel like you're taking a step backwards if you get a regular job. By a regular job, I mean like Uber or bartending, right? So if you go to college, you get a degree in economics, and then you get a bartending job, you're just not gonna feel good about it, right? Yeah. So it encourages you to get a career, right? To look for that rather than that, bartending or Uber. The other thing it does is it teaches you how to cram. It's like your kids, getting shit done and procrastinating. Well, college gives you the skill set to cram, because generally college kids don't study for a test till the night before, and then they cram like crazy. So it teaches a work ethic, I believe, on cramming. And the third thing is it teaches massive social skills. Now, I can tell you, as a real estate agent, I have sold over 100 houses to people that went to my college. So and luckily it was an in-state college. Everyone that graduated, essentially, not everyone, but most of them stayed in state. Yep. There wasn't a lot of kids from New York and California. There was none from the West Coast. It was all East Coast, and it was all probably 90% lived in the state of Maryland. And over a couple of decades, I sold over 100 houses. And like, I literally sold like 35 houses to people in the fraternity that I was in. Now, I marketed it, right? Brother. Right. Hey, brother, yeah. I marketed, I sent letters. I everybody knew that I was the guy in real estate that graduated in that fraternity. So I think there's a lot of benefits to college. I don't want to say, don't go to college. I think if you, for the right entrepreneurial spirit, and the timing is right and something that you like, you don't necessarily need to go to college.
Yeah. And I think that's where the guidance is missing, for a lot of kids. Even me, if you turn the time back 20 plus years ago, my dad gave me the best advice that I didn't take. And when I was in high school, he wanted me to take every summer, one summer work with a plumber, one summer work with an electrician, third summer work with a general contractor, right? Regardless, I would be able to use those skills today.
But that's great. Yeah.
And the thing about it, he had the connections to do it. He was a fireman by day, and then most of those guys have second jobs, so he's had guys that he would trust and do that. And it was just, no, Dad, I'm too cool for that.
Yeah.
But best advice I never did take. But and now with young kids, I kind of wonder, when they get of college age, what's the answer going to be? And I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I almost want to tell them, hey, if you want to go party and have a good time, meet a bunch of new people, go for it. You know, I don't know that Daryl Dad's going to pay for it, but but you know, go for it. Um, but I don't know. I don't know.
How old are your kids?
5, 2, and not even a year.
All right. So one of the things my wife and I did is, we taught, they knew that when they turned 16, they had to get a job.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it was like assumed from like 10 years old. Like, I can't wait for you to turn 16 so you get a job. You won't ask me for stuff anymore. And then when they turned 16, we stopped paying them. We stopped giving them. We were like, get a job, get a job. Yeah. You want a car? Get a job. You want this? Get a job. You want to go do this? Get a job. And both of them went to get jobs. And I think you learn a lot. I think it really helps develop you to get a job. Doesn't matter what you do, but it kind of teaches you work ethic. And I feel sorry for some of these kids that are 25 years old that have been to college and then they go to grad school and they never had a freaking job.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do with that,
Yeah, I don't think I was supposed to, but I was working summer jobs and playing ball and going to class and all this other stuff. So, but yeah, it's definitely teaches you some skills. And I haven't looked at it like that because I sit here when I graduated and look at all the debt that I had and how long it took me to pay those off.
The debt's a whole nother issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, the college situation is, can you go to college without debt? And I think there's a deflation coming in education. I think it's just going to get disrupted, and it's just, I think it's going to get a lot cheaper. I think it's like grossly overpriced.
It is definitely grossly overpriced. All right, so we're almost out of time here. I want to make sure we touch on a couple of things.
Yeah,
the book Tribe of Millionaires, definitely.
Tribe of Millionaires. So I got so guys, you got to read this. I mean, this is it's well done, right? It's not a piece of dirt, right? And and there's a lot of great lessons. And what we did is even though it's a fable, the characters here are based on the members of GoBundance. So the 6 pallbearers are essentially based on the 27 GoBundance members that flew to Japan together. And so they're real life billionaires, millionaires, multimillionaires, successful people in many ways. And so what we did is we printed 1,000 copies, and we said, we're going to give 1,000 copies away for free. And the way we did that is we created a website. It's called tribeofmillionaires.com, tribeofmillionaires.com. And if you go there, you get a free copy. All you got to do is pay the shipping. It's $7. You can go to Amazon and you can get it for $19.99 and pay the shipping. Or you can get it for free on tribeofmillionaires.com. Either way, read it. We're selling them both either way. So, we've got like 300 left of the free copies. So go ahead and grab one of those if you can.
Yep. And I'll definitely make a link to that because there's some other tools and resources out there on your website, right? From the Tribe.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the tribeofmillionaires.com. And if you want to learn more about GoBundance directly, go to GoBundance. So it's like abundance, but it's with a GoBundance. And if you're a woman, you go to GoBundanceWomen.com.
Cool. So let's talk about GoBundance for a minute. You got a few minutes just for us to touch on that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I know of the program. I think you guys have a summit or something coming up here pretty soon.
We do, Aspen, next week.
Yep, that is very soon. Okay, so I don't know that this show is going to be edited and recorded.
That's all right. I don't expect anybody to jump. But we have a summer gig, and we got lots of stuff.
What happens when I become a member of GoBundance? What can I expect? Right?
Yeah, great question. First of all, you're surrounded by other millionaires, and
you have to be a millionaire to get in. That's the
yes, you do. Yeah. The women's is a little more liberal. But the men's, you got to be a millionaire. Essentially, and that's why with the book, Tribe of Millionaires. So, you could get by with like an accredited investor, which is what you're making 500 or something, or 250 a year. You make 250. 250. But What can you expect? You can expect, first of all, we have very, very active Facebook group, a private Facebook group. There's like tons of stuff on there every single day. Anybody, any question you want, business wise, is on there. We have a Wednesday, a standing meeting Wednesdays called Wealth Building Wednesdays, where we interview people with deals that are raising money. Like yesterday, we had one. The day before yesterday, on Wednesday, we had a parking garage in San Antonio, Texas. A guy was raising money for that. Before that, we had, some multifamily in Philadelphia. Before that, we had a company called Zippy Software, which is a software for real estate agents and real estate brokers. And before that, we had TSO Greenhouses, which is a greenhouse glass company. Just people raising money. And what happens is you go to these on Wednesdays on Zoom, and you just learn about angel investments and investing in real estate. And even if you don't invest, they're great because you learn the right questions to ask and how investing is done. We have a regular one on health, where we bring in people that talking about testosterone and talking about, nutrition and everything you could think of. They come on regular and for our members. And then, of course, we have the events. We have, an event in Colorado in January. We have an event over the summer. It was in Austin, Texas this year. It's going to be somewhere not so hot. And, we have a couples trip. We're going to Cuba this year. And then we have our international trip. We're going to Australia. Only a certain percentage go on these smaller trips, but the opportunity is there if you want to join us on these trips. Yeah.
Very, very cool. I'm excited to.
Definitely, Jay. You need to go on and fill out an application. GoBundance.com.
I like that. I got to figure out what to. I think on there you guys have a family one too. You said men and women.
Yeah, we got fam abundance, and then the people bring their kids, dude. Like right now, they're all at the X Games.
So that may be the route we have to take, but I'm still sitting. It's going to be a while before.
Probably with a 6-month-old. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a while before we travel with Tiny. So we've. So we'll see. Give me a year.
All right, buddy. I'll hold you to it.
All right, Pat. We're over on time, and I appreciate it.
No problem.
The most. I know you do a lot of philanthropy work. You're still involved with.
I got a couple of mentees in Baltimore City through a program called Children of Incarcerated Parents, and I mentor them, so to speak. Right. And that's that's my main give back right now.
Cool. I'll make a link to that in the show notes as well.
Yeah, it's Baltimore City Chips is what they call it. Okay. Chips. Yeah.
That takes me back to the California Highway Patrol with Ponch.
Yeah, exactly. No, different chips. Yeah.
Yeah, different guys. So, Pat, I'll make links to notes, or I'll make links in the notes to GoBundance, Travel Millionaires, Chips. Any other way people will get in touch with you? Or?
Yeah, you could just Google me. I'm easy to find. You know what I mean?
Just Google you.
Yeah, I'm all over social media. Yeah.
Will do. Pat, thank you for your time. Glad we got to connect.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jay.
Hey, 4 things before you get out of here today. Number 1, thank you for watching. Sincerely appreciate that. It helps with our ratings with YouTube and all that. And along those lines, speaking of helping with ratings, if you could just hit that like button for me, the little thumbs up, and also subscribe. If you're not already a subscriber, if you are a subscriber, thank you very much. I appreciate that. We are trying to grow the presence here on YouTube, and this is you liking, subscribing, and commenting helps with that whole algorithm piece. So let us know. It also helps me know what kind of content you're interested in. And in the comment section, if you just list that one golden nugget that you took away from today's episode, that would really help me out and engage. Right, I'll get an alert when you say something about the episode today when you make it in the comment, and I will respond to you right away. And it'll be me. It won't be anybody else, I promise. And also, I can't let you get out of here today. This is point number 3, I think. I can't let you get out here today, but highlighting this affiliate for us, Deal Check, incredible piece of software. Whether you're doing burrs, you're doing fix and flips, you're doing buy and holds, and buy and holds is single family and multifamily. I used it last week to underwrite an 8-unit deal, and I'm going to be using it for any of our properties up to a certain number. Probably after the 50 range, I get my real heavy duty calculator out that I'll use that, but I'm also going to then take that and put it in a deal check, because the graphs that and just the amount of data they put into the reports that you can provide banks. Hell, I even sent one to a seller. I was like, here's the number. I know you're probably not going to be happy about it, but here's why I sent it to you, because I'm trying to hit these numbers, and we're currently negotiating on that deal. So we'll see what happens. But we have an affiliate code in the description below. Make sure you use that. If you don't, just go to dealcheck.io from any browser, and you can be able to sign up there. Signing up is free, right? So you can use it. You only start paying for it once you need to start unlocking pieces of software. For what I do with it, I'm a buy and hold guy, so from what I need, it's $5 a month when I use the promo code W2CAP. So make sure, whether you use our affiliate link or not, that you use that promo code, because it's going to give you 25% off either the monthly subscription you sign up for, or the annual. They've got two different options. The annual gives you a little bit better discount anyway. The fourth thing is Operation Underground Railroad. If you've listened to anything that I've been doing for the last year, you know that I highly support this organization. Again, the promo code W2CAP, you can text that to 41404, and you're going to get an immediate response link back to our fundraiser page, so you can see what we're doing for them. But also from there, you can hop over and see what all they're about. Highly recommend you follow these guys on social media and everything like that, because they're just ridding the world of not only human trafficking, but more specifically child sex trafficking, which is the most disgusting thing that I can ever think of, that this goes on. My heart goes out to those kids, and that's why I support them, right? Having 3 of my own, I just can't imagine them being in that environment. I'll give you a bonus. Okay, that was the 4 things, right? So like, follow, subscribe is number 1. 2, deal check was number 2, I think. I'm losing count here. OUR was number 3. The 5th, whatever the next number is, the 4th or 5th thing, is my hat has been crooked this entire time, and I'm not going to do anything about it. It's fine. It's okay. All right. On a serious note, let's get to work.